when working here in Inventor, you can change some attributes of the view or the graphic that you're looking at. And I wanted to show you that. I'm in the View panel right now, or the View tab, sorry, and I'm looking under the Appearance panel. There is a Visual Styles drop-down that you can click on that, and you can choose from all these different default settings to give you different views. So currently I'm on Realistic, but we could go to Shaded. You can go to Shaded with Edges, and you can see the edges of the features. Some of these where it almost looks like a fillet, um, where it's applied, showing these edges where things start and stop. Okay, there's some fun ones like Watercolor. Okay, gives it some texture. That's pretty cool. There is a Wireframe mode, is a common mode for engineering, possibly just to look at the edges so we can get rid of the other stuff. All right, so just know that this is here, and you may find a view that is nicer to the eye or gives you the ability to, let's go to that wireframe, for example, when you're in a model, to be able to see what would be a hidden line or edge that you normally can't see so that you can see it back there. Let's see, let's go in here and even do the same thing just to show you. I've got some other things open. Visual styles, like if you try some of these, look at how as I switch to shaded, it becomes somewhat kind of semi-transparent, and that I can start to see some geometry behind there. Shaded with edges, then I can even see some edges back there, but I'm seeing kind of a pocket on the back side. I can see evidence of these pockets in some of these, and that might be helpful. Let's go to the wireframe with hidden edges. Okay, this one is the wireframe, but it's showing all the hidden edges with dashed lines, which is nice. Here's wireframe with visible edges only. All right, regular wireframe shows all, but what's hidden shows up solid instead of being dashed, and maybe that's a little confusing to the eye. The dashed visually kind of helps you realize what is in view and what's not. So anyway, play around with those and just kind of realize that they're there and can alter a view to possibly make it easier to work with your model. Okay, so part 2 of this video, I want to show you something else though. Which file was it? My soup can. Okay, let's go back to realistic. So this looks pretty nice, right? I'm on what's called a realistic view of my model, and I had, when I built this, I had made the metal aluminum, and I had put an image. I wrapped an image around the face, that curved surface, and that's called it applying a decal. So decal is the tool, and we'll show you that in another video how to do that. But here's the other thing. What if I wanted this to become like photo quality? Okay, sometimes you've probably seen like on the startup screen of Inventor or maybe some other places as you Google and you've seen an image of something that somebody modeled in Inventor, but it looks so realistic and like a photograph, and your experience in Inventor has never given you an image that good. So how did they get that? Well, if you go to the Environments tab, we have something called Inventor Studio. You can click on that. Okay, I don't know why that showed up that just there for a second, but so in Inventor Studio, we have a tool called Render Image. And really, I'm just going to leave it pretty basic at this. There's lots of things you can do in here, and I'm barely have touched the tip of the iceberg just to kind of realize there are some features in here. But I can render image, and I'm looking for the ability to take the image I have and try to get it to be more realistic. Now, under here, I can play around with some settings like how long should it render. Basically, it's just going to do its best to process and calculate all the pixels within a certain amount of time. So I can kind of say, you know, I'm in a time crunch. Just give me the best you can in 10 minutes. Okay. You can render by iterations, how many attempts. So anyway, you can play around with some of these things. Just know that some of the images that you've seen where people really show off something they did in Inventor, the render time on some of those could be measured not in minutes, but in hours. And we're talking not a few hours, but we're talking it could be 8, 10 hours of rendering a single image where somebody um, turned it on at night before they went to bed and let the computer just continue to process and process all night to tweak every little pixel to try to turn it into a photo quality. Okay, so you're not in class going to use this tool and render something in a few minutes and get it to be that good, but it might be decent. Okay, so I'm not going to, well, I can go ahead and hit render and just let you see what happens. So it's going to start processing, but this would take 10 minutes. And so it's going to sit here and process and try to do its best in 10 minutes. When you're done, you'll have the option to save the image, um, to your desktop or to your computer and to have that image. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this though and close it. So just know that that's there. This is not something that you want to do all the time. This is for um, those instances where you just need a really high quality image or picture, and know that you're only going to get one view, one graphic when you do that. So I would first be spending time tweaking my image and getting the orientation that I want and really fixing all those things, because that's what it's going to render. It's just an image. It's not going to be a 3D model that you can rotate and spin around and look at. Okay, so know that as well.